Diba anyị mma no Igbo ụmụnne m ekene m unu. Igbo mụrụ nze mụọ ọzọ ka eke unu mere. Ọ ga-adịrị gị mma na eke, dịrị gị mma na afọ, dịrị gị mma na nkwọ, dịrị gị mma na orie. Ị ga na-eje eje na-abata abata. Tata ga-amarị gị mma makarịsịa ụbọchị ndị ọzọ. Ise, ise, ise. Have you been looking for an opportunity to test your proficiency of Igbo language? Are you looking for an opportunity to see how much you know about Igbo language? If that is what you have been searching for, then this particular practice test is custom made for you. I have prepared this comprehensive Igbo language practice test so that you can be able to check how much you know about Igbo language. This practice test is comprehensive in the sense that it encompasses all the areas and topics in Igbo language. Now, this practice test has 6 practice tests. In each of the practice tests, that is from 1 to 6, each one contains 40 standard and high quality questions and answers. To each of the questions, I've added 4 options from which you choose the best option. And now, at the end of each test, you should be able to see the solutions. That is my own explanation. This practice test is complete, is comprehensive, and is very understandable. I've added adequate explanations and descriptions that will guide you in this testing process. Now, before you start taking this test, you need to have done some research. You need to have done some studies in Igbo language. Let's say you have already taken some courses or you have read some materials online and then you want to test your abilities in Igbo language. I've made this particular practice test to align with the standard Igbo curriculum, both the ones that I've been using in teaching in schools and the ones I've been using teaching online. Remember, Maazi Igbo. I've been teaching Igbo language for more than 10 years, both in schools and online, and I've prepared this practice test from my over a decade experience in teaching Igbo language. Now, this particular practice test is highly flexible and is suitable and properly arranged so that you will move from the basics to the intermediate level and then to the advanced level. You will start with learning the foundations and basis of Igbo language, such as ABCD Igbo, that is ABCD Igbo. The questions in ABCD Igbo encompasses all the 36 alphabets of Igbo language and then some questions relating to them. Then you also move to the parts of speech in Igbo language, and then you end up with conversational Igbo, where you are going to test yourself on your abilities to communicate and use Igbo effectively. Now, remember, when you have high proficiency in Igbo language, you tend to have this confidence that enables you to express yourself proficiently and comfortably anywhere you are, be it at home, in the office, on the road, in the market, anywhere you are, especially in the midst of Igbos. When you can speak very well in Igbo, use Igbo proverbs, Igbo idioms and sayings to communicate and express yourself, it gives you this confidence and self-assurance. And now if you're also able to read Igbo text, being able to hear Igbo very well and being able to write in Igbo language, it makes you a perfect Igbo speaker and Igbo user. So if you are ready to test yourself, if you are ready to advance in your Igbo language proficiency, then this practice test is highly recommended for you. Remember, the questions are not difficult. They're somehow flexible and very simple because I've made it for all levels of learners, whether you are just starting, whether you have some basic background, or whether you are a pro in Igbo language. This practice test is for you. Now, if you are ready to join me in this adventurous, immersive learning journey, then go ahead and pay for this practice test. Buy this practice test and start today to advance in your Igbo proficiency. Now, if you have any question, if you have any clarifications you want to make, please always get back to me. You can reach out to me on this platform or you contact me on social media. You can also join my YouTube channel where I teach Igbo language and help people to learn Igbo language. Now, remember, practice makes perfect. It's because of this that I have put this practice test together so that you have an opportunity to test your abilities in Igbo language and be able to learn and grow in Igbo language. Remember, this is not just a simple test, it's more like a lecture because the questions are very comprehensive and then the answers are so detailed that as you are taking the test, you'll be learning more and growing in your Igbo proficiency. Now, if you want to advance in your Igbo proficiency, please go ahead and buy this practice test and start taking this test. The test is very flexible, the text is immersive, and this learning journey is going to be transformative. It's more than what you have taken before, is more than what you have seen before. This course is more than, this practice test is more than a course, okay? It's a practice test, but the way I prepared it, it's very comprehensive and very engaging. It's really complete, and everything you need to learn in Igbo language have been embedded in this practice test, and all areas of Igbo language have been covered in this practice test. So go ahead and buy this practice test and start learning, start advancing in your Igbo proficiency, so that in the next few weeks or months you become an expert, you become a pro, okay? You become a professional in Igbo language, so that you can be able to express yourself. You read perfectly, you'll be able to hear Igbo perfectly, and be able to write Igbo prolifically, okay? My wish for you is that after taking this practice test, your Igbo proficiency will grow over 100%, and then you'll be able to master Igbo language and use it effectively, so that when you are out there to speak, have conversations and interact with people in Igbo language, you speak and interact in confidence. So buy this practice test and get started on this immersive and transformative learning journey. There we know.